Good morning, boys and girls. It's Miss Angela. We are on day 88. 88 days of drawing together. Can you believe it? That's a lot of days to draw together. So today we're going to go up, up, and away. We are going to draw a hot air balloon. Now, of course, I can't dress like a hot air balloon. The bubblegum machine almost did me in. So I just got on the colors of maybe what our hot air balloon is going to look like. So are we ready? Grab those papers, pencils, colored pencils, markers, and what did I leave out? Crayons. Oh my gosh, get your crayons and we'll start drawing. Now today is going to be a hot air balloon and hopefully it's going to turn out beautiful. Are we ready? All right, I'm going to move this up a little closer and I'm going to move this down a little bit more so we could see more of this than more of me. Whoopsie, we're going to move all over the place. I'm not very professional at this video photography stuff. All right. I've got my big marker here. You're going to have pencils if you want to. It's probably much easier to use a pencil. Now we are going to draw the hot air balloon. We're going to take up the whole entire piece of paper with our hot air balloon. Our hot air balloon is, pretend you're blowing a bubble and it's kind of smaller at the bottom and it gets bigger at the top. So that's what we're going to do. At the top it's going to be up here. So let's go ahead and draw it. Now I'm going to do this way. I'm like a piece of bubble gum and it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And then we'll go back down smaller. Can you do that? And then I'm going to put the bottom of our balloon. Our balloon's going to be flat because the hot air balloon is open on the bottom because they put a flame down there. And then, well, we talked about it with the lanterns. And when the heat fills up inside of the balloon, it lifts it up into the air. Very cool, huh? All right, now let's go ahead and draw our lines on this. Now we've done lines like this multiple times. We did it on our lanterns. We've done it on the pumpkin. So you've got, when you're drawing your lines down here, you just can't draw straight lines. You have to go with the curve of the balloon. So let's try to find right up in the middle of it. That's the top maybe. And then we'll go down just like this and make a curve and come right down to the bottom. That's going to give it more of a round feel. Let's go over here and do it to this side now. We're going to come down and we're going to go around, make a nice curve. Perfect. So now we have a couple stripes. We're going to need another one in the middle here. So let's go right up to the point. Let's not make as big of a curve this time, but still a curve. And then come down to the bottom. And then we're going to put another one over here. Not as big a curve as this one, but kind of like this. Just a little tiny curve. And come down. We're trying not to make straight lines. If you make straight lines, then it doesn't look very round. And we want our balloon to look very, very round. All right, on the bottom of our balloon is always a basket that people can go up in. So we're going to take little lines that's going to hold our basket. And then at the top of the basket, because we're going to be able to see in our basket, I want you to draw like, oh my gosh, like a squished egg, like a little circle like that. Can you do that? Now we're going to do our basket on the bottom. Lines down. And then we're going to kind of do the same curve right there. And we have our basket. Now we did this just the other day when we did the ice cream cones. Remember how we put the lines so it looked like a waffle cone? You can give the illusion that there's more lines on it, but you don't have to draw every single line. That's what we're going to do for our basket now. So we're going to draw some lines that go right across, just like this. See, I made 3 lines like that, and I'm going to make 3 lines over here. And then I'm going to put some lines down through them. So it's going to give the idea that that is a basket made out of, like, it's woven together, made out of basket material, like a wood. Okay, now we're going to make this very cartoony looking today. So our clouds are going to be very cartoony looking. So I'm going to put a line over here, coming right out from behind our hot air balloon. And then I'm going to give it some bumps. 1, 2, 3, maybe even 4. And then I'm going to do another one over here. I'm going to put a line. And then I'm going to do the bumps up. 1, 2, maybe I'll only fit 3 in there. So these are going to show that we're up in the air. The balloon is up in the air. Let's do one more right here. Now this one, they were behind the balloon. This one we're going to see the whole thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oop, maybe we'll even have it go off. I lied. We're not seeing the whole thing. It's going off the paper. All right, boys and girls, now you've got your hot air balloon drawn. This is very, very cool. If you've done these lines in the curve, it's really going to add to it looking like a hot air balloon. All right, I'm going to start out with yellow because that's a nice bright color. I'm going to put the very middle of our hot air balloon in yellow. And I'm going to color it all in. This is a big hot air balloon, so it might take me a little bit to get all this colored. Yep, it is. Has anybody ever been up in a hot air balloon? I told you before that I didn't like flying. I'm kind of afraid of heights is the whole thing. And so there was a contest that you could win a trip in a hot air balloon, or you could go up in a hot air balloon and take another person with you. And I was like, so I joined to win it. What was I thinking? What was I thinking? Because I don't even like to go be up in the air, let alone in a balloon in a basket. So who do you think won the contest? Who do you think won? Me. I won 2 people could go up in a hot air balloon, and I didn't go. My poor husband. I told him, no, I'm not going to go. You can go. You take anybody you want to go with you. So at the time, we were in charge of a youth group. We did things with them and took them places. So my husband called one of the kids that were in the youth group and took him up with him. And still to this day, every time I see that, his name was Chris, and every time when I see his face on Facebook or social media, I always think of him going up in the balloon with my husband. And that was many years ago. Now poor Chris, well, not poor Chris. Chris is now an adult and has his own children. So how crazy is that? That's how long ago I won it. But oh my gosh, I wouldn't go up in that balloon to save my life. All right, I think I'm gonna put the red over here. Yeah, I think I will. So you can do these colors any way you want. I am doing, right now I've got I've got primary colors on there, or close to primary colors. I have yellow and red and orange, and I think I'll add in there probably purple and green sound like good colors. But what color is your hot air balloon? It can be any color you want, any color at all. Hot air balloons are so awesome. I love to see them in person. I have lots of hot air balloon stories. My mom, she lives out, up in New York State, not in the city, but in the country. And she went out in her backyard to get something one morning, and she could hear somebody going, hello, hello. And she's like, I thought it was God talking to me. But she looked up, my mom's silly, and she looked up, and there was a person in a hot air balloon going over her house, and they were asking her, they wanted directions where they were and all that. So she was telling them where they were going, or what road they were on and all that. Because when you're in a hot air balloon, you don't see road signs, so you really don't have any idea where you are sometimes. So that was pretty funny. My mom thinking God was talking to her. But whatever. The hot air balloons, they're very cool. I just don't I like to look at them from the ground, but I don't want to look at them from up in the air. When a town I grew up in New York State, every year they have something called the Speedy Festival. And the Speedies, they're kind of a food you eat. They're from upstate New York, and they're kind of like meat, and they're on a skewer, and then you put them over a charcoal pit and everything. They're delicious. Then you put them on a piece of bread. You eat them kind of like a hot dog, but whatever. They're just delicious. Anyway, getting back to the hot air balloons. They have a hot air balloon festival, a Speedy Festival, where there's hot air balloons at it. So they have this big park that they cook all these Speedies at, so it smells delicious. And every morning at dawn of the Speedy Fest, they have tons and tons, I would say 50 or more hot air balloons all show up to all lift off from there. And they lift off sometimes in the evening too, if it's a nice day. But it is beautiful, beautiful sight, all those hot air balloons lifting off into the air. It's so fun. It's really, really fun. I'm hoping to make it there next year to be at the Speedy Fest. All right, now, did I grab all my colors? No, because then I'd be organized. So I'm just gonna grab I got really close. I'm gonna grab some brown, and I'm gonna turn my little basket brown. And then I'm even gonna grab a darker brown and put it in the middle. Because I don't have anybody in this hot air balloon. Now, we should have put somebody in there. That's your job, okay? I want you to put somebody in our hot air balloon. Now, since I drew these clouds, I want to do my sky. So I'm going to do my sky all around these clouds. I picked kind of a bluey green color. Almost like an ocean color for the sky. but it looks pretty neat. And I can color in there. I can't believe I got this hot air balloon up in the air with nobody in it. Oh my gosh, what was I thinking? I should have put a little person in there. So you can put yourself in there. I was so busy telling you my hot air balloon stories that I kind of forgot to do it. Alrighty, I'm stepping over to the side. Maybe I'll move it over so you can see it better. Oh boy, it's a beautiful day. And they can only let the hot air balloons go up when it's a really nice day. Because if it's too windy, they have a chance they could, you know, collapse in and all that other stuff. So anybody that flies in a hot air balloon has to be pretty smart. They have to know a lot about the outside weather and what's happening and where to land. And they always have a chase car, they call it. Somebody follows them from on the ground. So when their balloon comes down, there's somebody there to pick them up because they're miles and miles from where they started. It's not like an airplane or a car where you can direct it to where you want to go. So there's all my hot air balloon stories. I was just very, very talkative today. So I will see you tomorrow, everybody. We are on day 88 today, and tomorrow is 89 days. 89 days. So we will, maybe I won't even tell you what we're going to do tomorrow. Maybe I'll leave it as a surprise. So we'll see you tomorrow morning. I want you to do what I tell you every day. I want you to be safe, and I want you to wash those hands. I want you to listen to your parents, real important. I want you to stay creative, and I want you to be kind to each other. Very, very important in this world nowadays. So we'll see you tomorrow morning, everybody. Bye-bye now.